this time we are going to go for it, because I think... People think that things are staged because sometimes they have been staged. Whoever really benefits? Can you ever trust what you see? Cause it feel like they could be 6,000 actors on a stage. Who makes it easy for you to believe? Don't wanna be misunderstood. Because they could doesn't mean they would. Default to destructing the self. Although population poison, 300 city lab rat maze, ultra secret behaviour. Governments have done these things before. Stealing their children and fabricating aggression too. Arrest a false flag of war. Governments have done these things before. What's rolling, meshing in your head? Must the subtext always be read to the worst logical end? Why can't you leave the victims be? Subdued your objectivity and accused of what complicity? You have to split what they claim to believe. History habitually has held itself to light the way, and selectively it can. Although population poison, 300 city lab rat maze, ultra secret behaviour. Governments have done these things before. Stealing dead children and fabricating aggression too. Raise the false flag of war. Governments have done these things before. It can be hard to trust. It can be hard to trust when you know what governments have done. It can be hard to trust. Well, it can be hard to trust when you know what governments have done. Yes, etc, etc, etc. All good, right? How much battery have I got left? 15%. Okay, let's see what happens. This is a song about not necessarily thinking about clothes. There we go. Right. I like that indeed. Who taught me that a debt could be placed on anyone? Who showed us that our pensions could fund just one man? Who sanctioned gambling on futures and energy? Who went and built a pyramid on deceit, when greed deep inside explodes out into lies and triggers bank runs, repossessions, bankruptcies and broken lives, job cuts, less full time, race down past the breadline, uncertain prospects for the innocents, all in the firing line. What's round his neck? What's round his neck? What's round his neck? Who told us that we should just accept austerity. Who leads us into conflict, inflicting misery? A clean shirt buttoned up, pressed trousers nicely cut, polished shoes, neckwear, hair care, accessories, and Starbucks coffee cup. By dressing like this, implication exists. A communal cognizance should put our trust in him. What's round his neck? What's round his neck? What's round his neck? It would be wrong for me to say that wearing a tie made him act in that way. I'm sure that we all see how crazy a band would be to demonize and scrutinize a piece of cotton finery. His clothes matter not, his intentions are shot. How he appears isn't linked to his appearance. What's round his neck? What's round his neck? What's round his neck? Okay, I'm on my mobile phone now because the iPad didn't work. So I've only got 15% battery though, so let's crack on, let's belt through. Do you guys even remember when the worst thing we had to worry about was Ian Duncan Smith? You know, in many ways it's a halcyon time, right back to the days when, you know, your complete morons were just that. Anyway, this is a song about him. Universal credit disarray means all these senseless debts are on your hands. Welfare's not about protecting scroungers, it's about providing us a safety net. Man, age of 9, you're fit for work. PTSD, you're fit for work. Heart failure, you're fit for work. Terminal, you're fit for work. Many complex diagnosis derided, distilled into a box. Is it only done to petrify the most vulnerable members of society? Main age of 9, you're fit for work. PTSD, you're fit for work. Heart failure, you're fit for work. Terminal, you're fit for work. ATOS failed, ATOS failed, ATOS failed, ATOS failed. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. Right, let's play a song. Let's play a song from the 17th century. You know, it's bad in many ways that songs from the 17th century can still be totally relevant. But, you know, it's also nice. It's nice that songs can do those sort of things. This is a song I think some people might recognise. It's not Crazy Little Thing Called Love. I know it sounds like it. Come all, brother tradesmen that travel along. Oh, pray, come tell me where the trade is all gone. 'Cause long time I have travelled and I can't find none. Oh, the hard times of old England. In old England, very hard times. Provisions you buy at the shop, it is true. But if you've got no money, then there's none for you. So what's a poor boy and his family to do? Oh, the hard times of old England. In old England, very hard times. You'll see a poor You must go to the shop and you'll ask for a job, and they'll answer you there with a shake and a nod. And well, that's just enough to make a man go out and rob. Oh, the hard times of old England, in old England, very hard times. And our soldiers and sailors, they have just come from war, been fighting for Queen and the country this year. Come home to be starved, better stayed where they were. Oh, the hard times of old England, in old England, very hard times. And now to conclude and to finish my song, let us hope these hard times, they will not last too long. I hope soon to have occasion to alter my song and sing, oh, the good times of old England, in old England, jolly good times, and sing, oh, the hard times of old England, in old England, jolly good times. Thank you, etc., etc. I would like to be in a pub. I remember those. I remember laying on the floor in pubs. You know, when you used to sort of, sit on the floor and do rowing boats with things, and, it was fine. But, oh well. Right, this is a song that has some unparliamentary language. That's the wrong can. That's not the unparliamentary language. But as you know, I do like to say what I mean. It's easier. Can't be misunderstood then. How many faces do you think they can talk through? Or does it come to be that there are cities turning blue? If you put them in there young, you're to blame for what they do. Vote Tory, get scum. Vote Tory, get scum. You hope they'd rectify right after populism won, but knocking down the red wall didn't change a single one. The phrase Margaret Tory is an oxymoron. Vote Tory, get scum. Vote Tory, get scum. They love perpetuation of the myth that you can get your own piece of the pie, your own house, and you're all set. Then laugh at all the people falling deeper into debt. Vote Tory, get scum. Vote Tory, get scum. You'd help anyone they wanted with the vast reserves of wealth, but they say it means you don't work hard enough to keep your health. Then remove the safety net and say you do it to yourself. Vote Tory, get scum. Vote Tory, get scum. Nothing is more nauseating than a smug right-wing attack when they claim to occupy high ground. But from a traditional position which calls a spade, it sure can't take a gentle word or two. Spinning atop the old mop and the emperor unclothed, permanently plastered over with a backbone all exposed. These oven-ready phrases APCAP and the term vulgus. Vote Tory, get scum. Vote Tory, get scum. They used to lie the left there to pull themselves up like they should. They stood atop and lifted out to reach because they could. And then just to be sure they turned it into firewood. Vote Tory, get scum. Vote Tory, get scum. Thank you. Unparliamentary. Right, this is another person, somebody else's. So this is a Leon Rosselson song. It's a warning. It's a warning to all people who don't happen to be born in a certain way. You know, we should all be warned about that. You know, ideally, before we can do anything about it, but fair enough. If the sons of company directors and judges' private daughters had to go to school in a slum school, jumped by some joker in a damn back alley, had to herd into classrooms all cramped with worry, with a view onto slag heaps and stagnant pools, had to go through corridors grey with age and play in a crackpot concrete cage. Buttons would be pressed, rules would be broken, strings would be pulled, and magic words spoken. Invisible fingers would mould palaces of gold. If prime ministers and advertising executives, royal personages and bank managers' wives had to live out their lives in dark rooms, blinded by smoke and the foul air of sewers, rot on the walls and rats in the cellar, in rows of dome houses like smouldering tombs, had to bring up their children and watch them grow in a wasteland of dead streets where nothing will grow. Buttons would be pressed, rules would be broken, strings would be pulled, and magic words spoken. Invisible fingers would mould palaces of gold. I'm not suggesting any sort of a plot. Everyone knows that there's not. But you unborn millions might like to be warned that if you don't want to be buried alive by slag heaps, pitfalls and damp walls and rat traps and dead streets, arrange to be democratically born, the son of a company director or a judge's fine and private daughter. Buttons will be pressed, rules will be broken, strings will be pulled, and magic words spoken. Invisible fingers will mould palaces of gold. Right. One more song, because there's other people, lots of other people. I've been watching this today. There's plenty of people. I haven't got it to work. So this is the song that's on the record on the compilation. I would encourage you all to buy it almost immediately, or as close to immediately as possible. This is a song about a bloke from Manchester. No, you can't spell Morrissey without SS. No, you can't spell Morrissey without SS. A flower swinging for ambulists to a bland UKipping racist. No, you can't spell Morrissey without SS. He will say that he is just speaking the truth. He will say that he is just speaking the truth. I always end up quite surprised. The truth turns out so polarised. Yes, he'll say that he is just speaking the truth. Now, do we have to question everything he wrote? Do we have to question everything he wrote? Though it it is conceivable to split the arsehole from the artist, I still think we'll question everything he wrote. Now if a double-decker bus crashes into us, if a double-decker bus crashes into us, it might be beautiful to die, just as long as you are white. If a double-decker bus crashes into us. Now I'm not saying that people shouldn't be sad. No, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be sad. When the anti-established is as elite as all the rest, it would be very hard to not be a bit sad. No, you can't spell Morrissey without SS. No, you can't spell Morrissey without SS. There was a light that never went out, now it's on back up, dimming down. No, you can't spell Morrissey. Can't spell Morrissey. No, you can't spell Morrissey without SS. Thank you. All good, exciting. Have a good day. Excellent.